Let's be honest, leveling in Enshrouded can be a bit of a task. Now with the water update coming in, the new level cap has increased, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been a little bit behind. I was only at the beginning steps of the Albany summits as this patch was releasing, so I looked into a bunch of different ways that I could level up faster. And I've researched a set of strategies that other players have used to level up faster, and in this guide I'm going to be showing you how to do those experience farms, how to efficiently quest, and the resource loops that will hopefully help speed up the leveling process from a crawl to maybe like a full-on sprint. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Enshrouded content. Before we actually get into like actual grinding, we kind of have to talk about how we're going to be playing this a little bit smarter. I mean, the Embervale map is so huge that running around aimlessly is just going to waste a whole bunch of time. The idea here is that we're going to focus on min-maxing the amount of EXP you can gain for basically every minute. If you don't have a whole lot of time to play video games, like myself, this is probably going to help you out. First off, the big one that you're going to want to focus on is your flame altar. Now, it is, of course, a great way for teleportation. It is a great way to build up a home base. However, it is your progression engine. Making your flame altar stronger is directly tied with how fast you can level because it increases your timer in the shroud, where there's a lot of good EXP that can be found in there. It gives you attribute bonuses, of course, but it unlocks higher level areas where the real experience is hiding. Think of your flame altar as kind of like a gatekeeper in this sense to the next tier of farming. If you don't raise the flame altar level, yeah, of course, you can still level. It'll just be, albeit much slower. So as you explore, always keep an eye out on the materials that you'll need to make your next upgrade. So as you upgrade, you'll be able to push higher and farther. Of course, this is kind of like a common idea here too, as far as progression here in the game. Make sure that you are unlocking as many ancient spires as you find. The second you enter a new region, your top priority is to find these and get to the top of the spire. Unlocking them reveals key points of interest on your maps, of course, main ones being like elixir wells and shroud roots. Though, of course, they are vital for quests, yeah, but they offer a massive amount of experience the first time that you clear them. An elixir well can easily net you also like 3 skill points, while a shroud root I think only gives like 1. And now let's talk about quest stacking. Now, this is something that I struggled with, where I would get a quest and I would just immediately go do it, and then I would get another quest which took me right back to that same area that I was. Don't do that. Don't do that. Open your journal, look at the map, and see where like there's a grouping of quests, either from like the blacksmith, the alchemist, the hunter, all in the essential same region. That's kind of like your one-stop shop for completing a bunch of quests in a very short amount of time to get a decent amount of experience. The idea here, of course, is to min-max your time. Make sure that you're not wasting time while you're out there running around. If you can pair 3 quests all in the same area, go ahead and do so. It'll be great. All right, so this part is boring, but mining in this game is an effective way to gain experience. And this is kind of like the first dedicated farming strategy, and I kind of call it's boring. Let's be serious. There's like no combat, and it can be very slow, but the experience is incredibly consistent. Now, not all resources are created equal, of course, as you know. You get nothing basically from mining stuff like dirt and stone and all that. But what I've seen in the community is some of the strategies that they have done is specific veins of materials like flintstone, salt, copper, tin, and iron all grant experience with every swing of the pickaxe. It seems like based off of player testing, Flintstone is a fantastic early game resource, with some reporting all the way up to 14 per hit. I haven't seen that, and that may have changed at some point. When I was going through, I think I only got about 5. Salt is of course another great option, and it's literally right around the corner from where you start. It's off towards the west in one of the major early shroud areas, and you can hit it up almost right away. You find a big size mine of those types of materials, and you just go mining away. I mean, a classic example is the copper mine that players frequently find that's located just west of the Revelwood Spire. You pop down a flame altar and just outside the mine, and for a personal fast travel point, go mine every single node, run back to your altar. You can even log out and then log back in, and everything will regenerate. But make sure that it is outside of your altar. If you put your altar too close to the materials, you will be able to mine them, but once they are gone, they are gone. So make sure that the mines are outside of that area. Now, this may all not be the most thrilling way to play Enshrouded and to level up, but if you just want to power through some levels while watching a show on your second monitor, this is one of the fastest ways to do it. All right, so now if kicking rocks isn't the idea of a good time for you, then we got to get into some fights. This is all about finding like large groups of enemies and then blowing through them as fast as possible for experience and loot. Your main targets, of course, as mentioned, are the elixir wells and the shroud areas. These spots are almost guaranteed to have a ton of fell enemies, making them a perfect spot for grinding. Now, while the exact experience formula isn't like really public, it's kind of widely believed that you get the most experience for killing enemies that are your level, or maybe one or two above. Fighting enemies that are way below your level, of course, gives you practically nothing. Well, that makes sense. You always want to be kind of pushing into tougher enemies that you can handle. And this is kind of like the idea, the circuit that I've been doing that has been effective for me, is I find a spot, like an elixir well that I've already cleared, and since they often have a boss that gives a pretty nice chunk of experience, you can just create a loop by clearing the well, moving to a nearby scavenger camp or another point of interest, and killing everything along the way. Log out and then log back in. But clearing an area and then relogging to reset it is a circuit that it will get you a lot of experience, and it's a lot more fun than mining. And of course, if you're playing co-op, this gets even better since everyone in the group gets experience from kills made nearby. You can split up and clear multiple camps in half the time for the same reward, making group play an amazing way to power level. Don't forget adding your buddies. Now, the other half of this is having the right build that will help you farm. And of course, if we're in a combat farm, you want to find everything that you can to push your experience per hour to the highest possible capable thing that you can get it to. Your skill choices should be directly aimed at your leveling strategy. And to be clear, these are just my suggestions. These aren't the best builds because they're always going to be the ones that work best for you. These are ones that I like. For like, if I'm doing the mining loots, the build is dead simple. I mean, you just really want anything that's going to boost your mining speed or reduce the stamina from your pickaxe. It's not flashy and it's very boring, but it directly increases the amount of experience you gain. It's very easy. For the combat circuit, you're going to want to focus on things that improve your area of effect or AoE damage. The goal is to wipe out entire packs of enemies with almost every single attack. A personal favorite of mine is the two-handed barbarian style melee build. Grabbing skills like double jump and jump attack lets you leap into a group of mobs and slam down for a bunch of damage. It's aggressive, it's mobile, and it's a lot of fun. I actually have a build that I'll link at the end that will be able to help out with this. Another really strong build, in my opinion, is a ranger build with like the multi-shot skill. You could shred a bunch of different groups of enemies from a safe distance, and many players consider rangers to be one of the best all-around builds anyway in the game for damage, mobility, and mainly survivability. The only real downside is that you have to craft the arrows, but the clearing is pretty quick. So there you go. Regardless of what you choose, there's always a few skills that I'm like, you absolutely have to have. I recommend for almost any builds, the double jump from the survivor tree. That is like a complete game changer all around for everything in the map. Every build I have does double jump. And if you're a melee player, skills like battle heal, which heals you for every critical hit, is almost mandatory for staying alive in fights. Can't skip that one. And of course, don't be afraid to reset your skills at your flame altar. It's really cheap, and you can kind of figure out what build will work best for you depending on what farm you're running. So yeah, that is kind of like the complete roadmap to leveling that I have been following, and it has been very effective for me. Now, there are a couple of other things that can help out with experience gains that are not necessarily combat related or mining related. One of the things is changing the server experience load. Now, when I joined in and I created my main map that I've been playing on Caffeinated Dad, I have set it up for the more challenging difficulty, which reduces the amount of experience that I gain per kill. So I got up to level 27, basically with a throttled leveling experience. I went back in there and I made it into a custom map and adjusted the amount of experience that I got per kill. Doing that really helped out as far as leveling is concerned, because large groups of enemies go from only giving 50% of the XP to 150% of the XP. It's a godsend. And I want to stress that this isn't really an exploit. This is really just understanding the game's systems and having it to assist us in the leveling grind. If this guide did help you out, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Enshrouded content just like this. Let me know down in the comments if you have a power leveling method that you use and it has been effective for you. Maybe it'll help out someone else. If you do want to see that barbarian build, that berserker build, you can click this video here. As always, stay caffeinated, folks.